Yo, what is going on, Steeler Nation? Welcome to episode 309 of the Steel Factory podcast. I'm joined by Junior today.
What's going on, guys?
We found Chewy's location. He's in Boston, doing undercover work. I think we played them like week 14, so yeah.
Playing in seats. He's playing in seats.
I apologize for my voice. Acrisure Stadium was just absolutely fucking insane last night. It was good to feel that atmosphere after how terrible it went against San Francisco and how their fans had a good showing. So it was good to finally fucking actually have like a really good game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know that we had a good game. I mean, it's good to win. It's good to win.
It's
I
good
think
to
that's a game.
watch. It was pretty good to watch.
I think that's a game you want to be at.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, stadium was electric. We'll go from there. Any other thoughts, dude? I was pretty nervous going into this game. I'm not gonna lie. How were you feeling?
I was pretty nervous. I didn't know how to feel about I don't know how to feel about Kenny against the secondary. I didn't know how we were gonna pull out a win, to be honest. Especially saying oh man, like Amari Cooper's fucking good to go. Nick Chubb is gonna play, and but I mean, obviously things change, right?
Right.
And I think I was just nervous.
Do you
I,
think
I
you think we would have lost if Chubb would have stood in the game?
I don't know if we would have lost.
I don't think Stefanski is that good. I think he would have lost him the game.
I think the thing is, I don't know that their game plan changed all that much.
No,
Much.
that running back, that backup had over 100 yards still. I know he had one like big play, so yeah.
Jerome Ford was still killing it. He was still running it down our throats super easy. He had that one big fucking play that like scared the crap out of me, and I think it's gonna I think the game plan stayed relatively the same. I think what definitely changed was the Browns' ability to like really control the game, because when you have Chubb, who like clockwork gets you 4 or 5 yards, 6 yards, no problem. They'll just run it down your throat all day. So as soon as that wasn't a factor and they had to rely on Jerome Ford, and that probably changed up the playbook quite a bit, because for him it seemed like they had more like runs going to the outside as opposed to Chubb that just kind of straight down the middle.
Why am I getting a pop-up here? Quit. Okay, we're fine. Anyways, yeah, it was good to open up with that pick six, first play of the game. That always kind of settles the nerves, but I think they went like right after that, they went down and scored a field goal, right?
Yeah.
And then they kicked it off to us, and fucking Gunner, instead of letting it goes out of bounds, he fields the kickoff and even does a toe tap to make sure he gets both feet in. Like, dude, what are you doing? We could have had the ball at the 40. That led to the one pick Kenny threw. We'll get into Kenny later because that's a whole topip.
Dude, I thought for sure that Gunner was gonna like 200 IQ it and like step out of bounds and touch the ball before it landed, but this dumb motherfucker toe tapped, and I was like, oh shit, like Gunner, that's a good play. Like, this is why we keep this scrappy white guy around. Nah, fam, like you gotta cut this fool. He's like 2 big mistakes today. He's made the game really, really difficult for us.
If he would have caught the ball out of bounds, would that have been the penalty?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that how it works? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if his foot was out of bounds and if one foot was out of bounds and he catches it like normal, that's a penalty against the Browns. So that's what I thought he was doing, because that's what I thought he was doing, because he was running towards it, and I was like, oh nice, like he's gonna make a play here, like this is like finally, like Gunner's like showing some kind of fucking like IQ, but really it was probably the exact opposite, just the dumbest thing you could have done in that situation.
Yeah, and then
I don't know why he needed to do that.
Then he fumbled like the next drive. Well, Kenny threw a pick, bad read, threw into like double coverage. I think the safety moved over, and then I think they missed the field goal after that play. Oh no, I think they probably scored, and then we had another turnover in our own end because Gunner caught and fumbled like off rip. I don't even know if that was a catch or not. I didn't really get to see
Uh,
that replay.
it was a catch.
Yeah,
He caught it and then he kind of like moved his hips to run forward and he got popped and the ball popped out.
yeah,
And again, it's like okay, any other player, it's like oh that's unfortunate. Like just
yeah. But
right whatever.
a guy that wasn't even getting a helmet week one, he's in there because McFarland's injured, and Deontay. Yeah, he needs cut. And then yeah, our defense just came up big. I thought Kenny started to settle a little bit in the second quarter, especially when he started finding Pickens. Obviously, that huge, what was it, like 74 yards, 71 yards to GP. Kenny got fucking rocked on that play as well. I think he did a good job looking left and then coming back right to Pickens. And then Pickens took it to the house. That was an awesome play. We need more of that, man. And you see what happens when we attack the middle of the field. Good things happen. We get those yards after catch, and that happened multiple times. Pickens had like another two receptions for over 20-25 yards. And I thought he looked really good the whole game. That might be his best game so far, right?
I
In
think
terms
that's
of
definitely his
yardage.
best game so far. Like that kind of gave us an idea of like what this guy, almost like a little bit of a breakout game. Like oh, this is what Pickens like could be on a few different plays because it's not that like oh he got lucky. It never felt that way.
Right.
Like you would with any other like no name just kind of busting out a crazy catch and run. It felt like oh wow like this looks really natural for him.
Yeah.
Like just the way he moves. It's like this is the sort of stuff he could do all the time. And I think those were when Kenny was targeting Pickens. I think those were definitely the
It
best
looked
play.
it
Or
looked it
that's
looked
that's when he
good
looked the best.
and normal, and it looked good. The connection between them looked fine. We gotta just keep going at that. I know we did target him like 10 times, but I think that's what you gotta do when Deontay's out. And then the second best receiver on the team was Jalen Warren.
Jalen Warren
He had the second
looked
most receiving
so
yards.
he looked so good yesterday. He looked so fucking good. Jalen Warren in the first half made me like it made me feel so bad about Najee. Like
Yeah.
not Najee in the first half looked terrible. He looked terrible. Like every single run he would try to break out and he just got fucking stuffed. And Warren would immediately get the ball and he'd be busting out chunks of like 7, 8, 9, 10 yards and he would break out one for like I think it was like 30 yards one time.
Yeah, that one screen pass on like a random third down that actually worked. Yeah.
And it
Um
was it was it was crazy to see like wow like Warren just looks so much better. He looks so much more explosive. He looks like an Austin Eckler light. And
you have.
I've been saying this for a while. I've been saying this since last year, and it's turning out like it's looking good.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
and then but Najee did turn that around a bit in the second half. In the third quarter, he busted out like a
Can we
few nice
go
runs
over
in a
this
row.
sequence really quick? He had two like back to back like 20-yard runs, takes us on to like the Cleveland 40, and then Matt Canada calls a jet sweep right after that and just completely fucks the whole drive up.
Yeah, I think Kenny got a big sack on that play, right? Or
I think on the third down Kenny got sacked or something.
yeah, I honestly like okay, Kenny. I don't think Kenny played that well. I don't. I mean, we could talk about this too.
Do you want to
I
get
don't know.
into it
Or
now? Because this is like the whole like subtopic too. I mean, we'll end the Browns recap with TJ and Highsmith. Well, yeah, I guess we could talk about Kenny and like the whole offense now, and basically what's bad about the offense, because we talked about GP and Warren how they looked good. Yeah, let's get
I
into
think
the bad now.
yeah, Pickens and Warren they look fantastic. They look really hungry. They made the most out of every single touch. Um, Pickett looked he looked he didn't look good. He didn't look good. And
There's
we scored
more
26
bad than good for sure. More bad than good.
more
Yeah,
bad than good. I mean, like obviously he had that one great play with Pickens for I think it was like a 70-yard touchdown.
yeah.
But aside from that, like nothing looked good. Every time he got pressured, like Like I know you're talking about like whenever he got pressured last week, he had these really great stats, and last night like that just didn't translate at all. He looked bad. He was inaccurate. He was throwing it away. He looked really flustered. Um, I think even when he was getting the ball out quick, I don't really like where he puts it. He puts it behind receivers a lot.
Yeah, he was missing throws again. Yeah.
He was missing throws. Um, and I don't know if this was like this is a little off topic. I was gonna say we didn't really give it to Fryermuth at all. I'm not
Oh
sure
no,
why.
none at all.
I don't
Nothing.
I don't know why he should have like I don't understand our passing
It's so
offense.
weird. Like, what are we doing on the offensive side of the ball here?
I don't understand our passing offense at all. Like it seems like Calvin Austin was getting a lot of looks in the preseason and they were looking really good. And we get into this season, and obviously it's a different beast completely, but it doesn't even seem like we're trying, even with Deontay out. We should start moving down a little bit, and I
Right.
think Calvin Austin should definitely like have more looks. I think Fryermuth has always been one of the better guys that Kenny can check it down to. Maybe Fryermuth was hurt from last week. Maybe like he had a really sore fucking chest or something, and he's like, nah, don't even don't even look my way, man. But
Yeah. Speaking of all the
all
pressure, the O line looked pretty bad again. The PFF grades came out. Danmore had a 3.5 grade on
fuck,
PFF.
is that out of 10?
It's out of 100.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, overall, we don't have a single O lineman over a 50 PFF grade right now. Um,
Okor for fucking 2 false starts yesterday.
oh
I
yeah, that
think.
too. Yeah, we had a couple false starts. Um, guys like man, whatever there was one play too where um Kenny got sacked right away. I think the Browns just sent an extra guy in, and then Sayamala was not even looking at anybody, and he just went right past him and fucking sacked Kenny on like a third down. Um, I saw one take that was saying that this also came up like in Tomlin's press conference today that um we're minimizing guys like Garrett and Bosa these last 2 weeks, right? Garrett I think had
Yeah.
one tackle yesterday. Bosa had only two last week. So do you think that maybe the O line is just focusing too hard on chipping these guys? Is our game plan just moving like too away to that way? Like we're kind of minimizing their impact on the game, and is that like cutting like the field in half for us? Could
I
that be an
think
explanation as to at least the O line might be struggling in the run game and at pass protect too?
I want to say that I I don't think Nick Bosa played that well last week. Not he wasn't like he was okay, but he wasn't like the game wrecker that he is. Um, I think when you structure your line like this, like maybe we are going all in on whoever the biggest threat is, right? It's almost like you got to pick your poison a bit, and maybe you know what, maybe it is worth it. Maybe it is worth it. Like okay, you know what, we're gonna be giving up sacks on the other side of the line, right?
Yeah.
But we're not gonna be giving up anything to the game wreckers, essentially. You know,
Yeah.
nothing to Bosa. Uh,
I just think that's the way you play when you're on defense and you have a guy on offense. And you're going up like a fucking demon on offense, right? You want
yeah,
like that's how Belichick's always fucking played. He takes away your best player, lets other people beat you. Do you like doing that on defense too? Or when you're on
like on offense.
offense and they have the game records on defense?
I don't know. I think the best offenses just play,
Right. Yeah.
but honestly, we probably don't have the talent to do that. We probably don't have the talent to do that. You know, we don't have our offensive line is still probably bottom half in the league.
Oh, I think of anything, that's the most disappointment I've seen. I mean, we only did change our left guard as of right now. We haven't brought in Broderick, but are we seriously waiting to the bye week? I mean, we saw Joey Porter get some more snaps last night, and he looked solid.
He looked good. He was making plays like everywhere. Like he was batting the ball away.
You
He
got to
looked
play
really
your
good.
rookies, man. Like, these guys were drafted way too high to not play them right now.
I think we have to play our rookies right now, especially because this season doesn't really. This is like a developmental season, you know. This isn't. It's not like where. It's not like we're like making a real sort of push to a deep playoff run, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Where we have our guys and we need to make sure that like our guys are our guys.
Where there's not a
This
rush.
is
The window isn't open right now. You know. I mean, it
yeah
is when you have like a fucking defense like this, but you know, it's not like I don't know. We want to say Super Bowl or bust every time because we're the Steelers, but we know for real like we're still trying to develop a bunch of young core guys, right?
definitely. Yeah, we're
And
still
and and this is the modern
away.
day NFL, dude. You don't redshirt guys. You don't redshirt rookies. You let them fucking play. Like these guys are legit, dude. These guys are good.
Yeah, it's not like our coverage is that complicated. I don't think.
Like, are you worried about Joey Porter getting burnt? Well, the veteran you have out there is getting fucking burnt on the daily. Fucking Levi Wallace. He even dropped a pick in the end zone. Pat
That was
Pete.
one,
Uh,
Pat
he's
Pete's a good
struggling
locker
too.
room guy. You know,
Yeah,
he's a locker room guy. He's not. You can tell he's old. You can tell he's 33.
yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, I think you got to put Broderick in there now. You let Joey Porter start now. Um, but really, it just feels good to win, even though you played like shit. I mean, I guess that's just how AFC North games go, right? They look fucking terrible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, next week we play the Raiders. I think that'll be a little bit better.
Yeah. Do you want to transition into that or any other thoughts on the Browns? Oh, wait, we talk about
Uh,
TJ and Highsmith. Silver
I know.
lining
Yeah,
here.
exactly. I was like,
The
let's go,
greatest. The greatest. Oh my
dude. TJ
god.
reminds me of like James Harrison and Larry Foote.
Lamar Woodley, you mean?
Oh, Lamar Woodley. My
Yeah,
bad. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
James Harrison, Lamar
They're
Woodley.
awesome, dude.
Like when they
Wow.
were having that campaign, and they were just racking up sacks like crazy, and like that defense was terrifying. That was the number one defense in the NFL,
Right.
right? And that was when the Ravens also had the number two defense in the NFL, and that defense was also fucking legendary, right? Like I have that same sense from these guys right now.
Also, speaking of great defenses too, I don't want to take credit away or give like excuses. We went up against some pretty good defenses as well these last 2 weeks, and maybe Kenny just needs to see some light to get warmed up. Really, hopefully the Raiders aren't that fucking crazy. I know they have Max Crosby, right? Um, yeah, maybe we'll get into this the other Raiders, but yeah, we saw some good
I mean,
defenses too. That could be another reason why we just look shitty.
yeah,
They both
like
teams have a really good front four.
yeah, and then the Brown secondary is actually pretty solid.
No, I actually think that they got something in that D coordinator. I don't know where he came from,
Jim
but that,
Schwartz, yeah,
yeah,
Jim Schwartz is fucking legit, dude.
yeah,
Jim
that
Schwartz is
that new
legit. Like
guy's
he
put in
has
the
a great
work.
defense wherever he goes.
Yeah.
I think okay, so TJ
TJ
TJ and
Highsmith.
Highsmith, dude, Ogunjobi looked
He looked
fucking
good
great.
too. He looked good too.
Ogunjobi looked fucking good.
Honestly,
Minka,
I don't care if he doesn't practice. If he shows up on game day like that, I'm fine with it.
Ogunjobi looked fucking good. Minka, he was everywhere. He looked great. Um, I think he got hurt. Hopefully, it's nothing major.
He already got out of the hospital last night. I think it was precautionary. Should be good to go. Maybe probably has a snap count next week.
All right, hopefully nothing major. But he looked great. Um, I mean, TJ also all-time leading sack leader for the Steelers. Like
Congratulations, TJ. Congratulations to you and all your
seriously,
success.
dude, every single sack. TJ is just a fucking workhorse, dude. That guy does not stop. He's like Terminator every time the ball snapped. Like he
Yeah.
just goes, and like
Oh,
it's so much
dude,
effort.
there is something about TJ, like in between plays, fucking hyping up the crowd, waving up his arms every fucking like in between every fucking play. It seems like, and then the crowd fucking loves it when they put him on the jumbotron. They go fucking crazy when TJ gasses them up.
I mean, that's our fucking guy, dude. TJ's it. He's everything you want in your star player.
Yeah, he's on a serious defensive player of the year campaign right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Two
I think
weeks
he has
in,
5 sacks, 6 sacks.
think 4. I think he only had 1
Fourth,
last night, but he had a bunch of pressures. He had the touchdown, the fumble. He forced 1 or 2 fumbles.
I think he forced
No,
one.
Highsmith forced the other fumble. Um, oh, Cole Holcomb forced another fumble too.
Yeah, and
I
then
think,
TJ fucking touchdown.
yeah. Did Larry O force the fumble on that 4th down, or
I
who was
think
it?
so. I don't think
When
TJ forced
Deshaun
the
tried it,
fumble.
yeah, but he was on fucking Deshaun's ass every fucking play.
Oh yeah, Deshaun did not look comfortable at all last game or last
He
night.
like I'd have serious worries about Kenny if he looked like Deshaun last night. Deshaun fumbling the ball on fucking when he's on fucking sacks and shit. The fucking
Imagine what.
penalties.
Yeah. Oh, he got 2 face masks or something.
Dude, he
That's
should have
so
gotten
random.
ejected. He pushed the fucking ref. He
Yeah.
pushed the ref after the first face mask. He should have gotten thrown out. Oh my
If
god.
Kenny got stripped as many times as Deshaun last night, we would not be hearing the end of like the small hands right now. I
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
don't think. Like, I remember last week. Last week we were saying, or I was saying at least, that this is a big game for Kenny. This is a big game for the NFL's idea of Kenny Pickett and whether he's good or bad, right? And I think last night he got a little bit of a hall pass with how good the defense played, but he definitely did not get
I
like
think
he
if
definitely
anything,
didn't.
last night showcased just how many, I guess, holes there are on the offense with the coordinator. Your starting running back looks like shit. Your O line looks like shit. There's just too much. I don't know, lack of cohesion, lack of consistency. I mean, we did have a few plays that were, I guess, the chunk plays that we were missing last year, right? I saw one interesting stat that was like on on 7 plays we combined for over 200, like 205 yards or some shit, right? But like the other 40 plays we ran on offense barely combined for like 50 yards.
Fuck.
It's fucking sad. Oh, and then that other stat too. In the fourth quarter, we were down by 3, and in that whole quarter, we had like -7 yards, and we ended up winning the game on offense.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like that, and that hasn't been done this century or something. Yeah, no one overcomes a deficit with negative yards on offense in the fourth quarter.
Actually, we kneeled down, so maybe that could have added to our
No,
negative yards on the kneel downs.
what, like 2?
Yeah. Hey, and
So really,
that stupid ass read option Kenny ran on 3rd and 1 too also fucking lost us yards.
It was a Matt Canada like classic,
Right.
basically. I think everyone in the NFL starting to really recognize, oh wow, like this coordinator is like actually
Oh,
terrible.
I honestly did not hear the Fire Canada chants in the stadium. I don't know why. I think it happened on the opposite end from me, but I saw the TV clip. It was, you could hear it. You could hear
Yeah,
yeah, that's crazy. That's not good.
yeah. There's a ton of pressure. I think the pressure is just gonna keep adding up through the season. That like on the Roonies, not that they to on the Roonies to not bring him back. Basically,
Yeah,
I don't think they were. I hope they weren't, but
yeah,
I hope they don't bring him back. If they bring Canada back next year, it's gonna be. I'm gonna become a Red Zone fanboy and get
it's
Scott
so
Hansen
unfair.
merch.
Stupid fuck. I saw actually Tomlin responded to that um when they asked him about the Fire Canada chants, and I kind of liked his quote. And he's like, "We want them to be fat and sassy and spoiled. That's our job."
There we go. That
I can't wait to go down to the strip district and find a shirt like that. I'm a Steeler fan. I'm fat, sassy, and spoiled.
that's honestly a fucking amazing quote, dude. You want them to be fucking like ideally if you're the coach you want to be the Patriots basically. You want
Oh
to be
yeah,
so like you want to have super entitled fans and shit. And
and
that's
we are,
that
for the lack of playoff success the last decade. We still are. Just because you just seen too many great players go through the fucking field on our team to not be that fucking spoiled and have the high expectations that we do. Um, but yeah, we looking good. Highsmith probably winning defensive player of the week for sure. If they give that award out like on social media, right?
I hope so.
Pick
He,
six, forced fumble, a sack. Yeah. Anyways, are we ready for the Raiders? All right, let's look at our key matchups. Or do you have something?
no, yeah, feel good.
All right, let's start off with our key matchups. The game within the game. I really like this one. Um, do you have one so far? Because I do
I want to
not.
say Josh Jacobs. He hasn't been amazing this year. The Raiders have struggled to run the ball with him. He hasn't been racking up crazy yards or any. He hasn't had any crazy games yet. But obviously, like the talent's there. He's the best running back in the league last year. I think and he didn't have much of a camp either. Just because he was like having contract negotiations going on. He was holding out a bit. So I guess he came in. Maybe he's a little out of shape. Maybe they want to work him in with the snaps. But look,
Our run
the
defense
talent.
too is a question mark.
Our
Still
run
kind
defense is
of.
still a question mark. Nick Chubb, before he went down, was still tearing our ass up. Jerome Ford tore our ass up. I think we still have to worry about Josh Jacobs a bunch. Uh, just because the last couple of games he wasn't a huge factor doesn't mean that this is gonna be the same. We're not a good run defense. He's a good running back. And the last couple of games, the Raiders weren't ever in position to just be running the ball. And I think the way we play, we try to keep the pace low and slow, and that entails a lot of running, and it could be a bad setup for us.
Yeah. My matchup is Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett.
It,
It's gonna be between our QB and OC.
that's deep. It's
I'm
you
kind of
against
I'm.
yourself.
It's gonna be us, dude. Um, I get to not gonna lie. I heard Kenny doing the thing where he acts like he can't hear in the headset. I saw that at least twice last night. No fucking cap, dude.
He's like,
Um,
fuck this guy.
I'm kind of joking within that, but really, it's gonna be. I'm really kind of talking about like our execution on offense. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, play calls are bad, but at the end of the day, you got to be able to move the ball. And yeah, honestly, it starts with the O line. It starts with Kenny's throws, um, Najee fucking hitting holes. Um, it's just yeah, like you said too. Um, the Raiders haven't been able to run the ball, so we just got to start off. We can't start off slow again on offense. I saw we're the only team so far to not have a first down in the first quarter. That's got to change. Um, so yeah. Who else on the Raiders? Yeah, we got like Devonte Adams, Jimmy G. Um, shit. Do you put anybody on Devonte? How's that looking?
That's gonna be tough. I think you gotta put whoever our best corner is. They all look whatever, and have Mink over the top. But then again, it's kind of like Devontae's not the guy to like bust open huge plays. He's a guy. He's kind of like Deontay, but like actually really good, where he'll just like catch it 15 times, 10 times for like 150 yards, and he'll beat you like that. It's not gonna be big plays.
Do they still have that
Look,
tight end? No, right? Darren Waller?
no, Darren Waller's on the Giants now,
Right. Okay.
but it's Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs. So, and I mean, depending on how much you believe in Jimmy G, that's a matchup.
How did he look last week, actually? Let me bring that up.
Yeah, let me see.
They played the Bills. Solid team, still with a lot of question marks. Josh Allen actually did his thing. Jimmy G went 16 for 24, 185 yards, one touchdown, two interceptions. Kind of looks like Kenny's stats week one, except against probably a worser defense.
Yeah.
They only had
Again,
what? Wow.
Bill's defense also still really good, dude. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, the Niners have the best defense, but yeah, the Bills aren't that far off. I also team like the Bills. They kind of start slow. I mean, you saw that week one, and then the Raiders barely pulled it off against the Broncos week one, right?
yeah, the
Broncos
Broncos
on,
have a good
what happened?
defense too.
Yeah, all right. um, Fuck my voice. All right, we gotta wrap this up. My throat's getting in. I have the odds here. It's Raiders -1.5 right now as for Tuesday afternoon. Over under 43. Fuck. Miss some
All
water.
right, we'll cut this out. Cut.
No, we'll make it through. I don't want to have to edit, dude. That's just extra work for me. But yeah, right now the odds are Raiders -1.5. They're at home as well, and then over under is 43 points. Have you thought about your prediction yet? Your score?
Oh man,
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to let the signs speak to me right now.
43 points. I'm gonna take
Sunday Night Football. I'm hearing there's a lot of Steeler fans traveling to Vegas for this one.
I'll take the over. I'm gonna say, I think we can. I think we can beat them. I think
you
the
gotta
Raiders
stack wins.
the Raiders.
Early. We have to.
The Raiders are a bottom 10, maybe bottom 5 defense. All right. So I feel like if there's a game for Kenny to really break out on national TV, it's gonna be this one. So I think it's gonna be 27-21.
I'm gonna go with doing what we haven't done, and that's scoring over 30 points and winning a game. I have us 31-20 Steelers, so over on the points. I think they needed that win last night, and then we're just gonna start stacking, because we had really good tests the first 2 weeks.
Look, those were 2 top 10 defenses.
One moment. Fuck, what is going on? We're fine. Fuck, I'm fucking dying right now. Are we good? Shit. Yeah, I see us pulling us off. I think this is gonna be a really good game. Like you said too, we're kind of waiting for that Kenny breakout game, you know? And it's kind of not a good sign that he hasn't thrown multiple touchdowns in a game so far. Yeah. I thought it would be last night after he threw that first one to George in the second quarter, and I thought we were starting to kind of get clicking. Actually, fuck, 31's a lot of points, dude. That's 4 touchdowns. Fuck.
I know. I felt good about 27. I was like, oh.
I already said it. I said it. Roast me in the fucking TikTok comments. I see you moonwalking after that win. Y'all are coming at us at first. As soon as the game finishes, y'all want to say, my bad.
My bad, my boy.
Yeah, fuck you guys. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. Leave a comment, do whatever you want. Roast us. I honestly love those roasting comments. They're fun to watch, and it's free. Any publicity is good publicity. You know what I mean? Any other closing thoughts, Junior?
No, keep coming. I'm gonna keep responding. We're gonna keep talking shit to each other in the comments. We'll fight about it.
But yeah, let's keep stacking. Go Steelers.